Give me a concrete example, say, of one of the pavilions.
One of the pavilions is called emotions. Emotions. Emotions obviously either get in our way and prevent us from fulfilling a dream, or they catapult us forward. If we got fear, we don't tend to move forward. If we're apathetic, we don't move forward. It's next to death. An apathetic person says, well, here's another promotional video that Norrie is making with her camera, and I suppose it'll go somewhere and somebody will see it, but if they don't see it, it won't make any difference. If we do it, if we make the world better, it'll be the same. Right? Emotion, emotion, emotion. If you get excitement, exhilaration, even conservatism, oh, here's how we go about it, then the person moves forward. In Wonder World, there is, outside the emotions pavilion, there's this huge spiral that is coming out of the ground, several stories below the ground, and is rotating all the way up to the top, and it is dramatizing all of the base emotions: shame, blame, regret, apathy, fear, anger, antagonism, and moving up into exhilaration, enthusiasm, peace of mind, the peace that passes all understanding. You move into the pre-show in the emotions pavilion, and you find yourself literally surrounded. It's a huge oval room, and all the way around you, the gamut of human emotions are being projected, from the most base up to the most glorious. And then the doors of the pre-show close, and the show of emotions comes to a climax. It shuts off, and a beautiful woman, momentarily the room goes pitch black. You go, whoa, and then a beautiful woman materializes in the middle of the room, rotating. We hope to use Jerry Ryan, who played Seven of Nine in the Star Trek series.
Is this holographically?
It's holographic. Mm-hmm. Here she is called One of One, and she addresses the audience in this pre-show, and she says to them, first of all, we wish to assure you that there was no devious intent in creating the course that you are about to experience. It was simply that the elders realized that Earth was on the threshold of openly accepting aliens from other worlds, but was not quite ready to do so. Hence, it was decided that we would blend unobtrusively in your culture to assist you with your decision to one day be part of the United Association of Worlds. In order to do this, we had to know how humans created their emotions. Hence, Professor Feeling, who is here today, created for us this Emotions Mastery course. You will be the first humans ever to experience this course. And once again, we wish to assure you that there never was any devious intent in creating this course, and she vanishes. See, our Hollywood media has portrayed aliens as evil, nasty creatures.
For the most part.
For the most part, with the exception of E.T. and a few movies. And the actual truth of the matter, and I'm not going to try to say how I know this, but the truth of the matter is that the universe is filled with beings magnificent beyond belief. There are more stars than there are grains of sand on every beach on this planet. The number of wonderful, evolved, fantastically beautiful beings is amazing. The number of Disneylands that exist out there that are created by some individual is astounding. But Earth doesn't know that because they've been oriented to be afraid, because the banking cartel's primary purpose was to invite people to be afraid. That's the primary purpose of the news. The Oklahoma bombings.
Wait. And so the purpose of making people afraid is to be able to manipulate those emotions?
Very easy to manipulate, very easy to control. For instance, and this is part of conspiracy theory, and I'm not going to, I'm not asking you to believe anything you don't believe, but the Oklahoma bombings, the shootings in the schools had primary one purpose, and people were orchestrated to do that. The purpose was to bring America to the point where they didn't consider any place safe anymore. And in our sense, it wasn't safe. Their freedoms could be eroded so that the government could protect them from the fears that they invited them into. But another story.
So,
Let me finish the emotions
yeah,
pavilion.
please.
Okay, so you're in the emotions pavilion, right? And you go in to this theater. You sit down in the theater, very comfortable, very luxurious plush theater. And as the production begins to move, the whole theater turns on a carousel. And the curtains open with you as the carousel is turning, and you meet this wild Christopher Lloyd type of creature who is teaching a class of aliens what humans have to think in order to experience and feel the emotions that they have. He's teaching them so they can blend unobtrusively into the human culture to assist them with their decision to become part of the United Socialist. And he says, value, value, value is the key. Humans value things like we all do. They value their watch, they value their money, they value their loved one, they value their house. And when they have the idea that the value might go away, they feel fear. When they have the idea that the value that they seek might not come, they feel fear. They feel anxious. If they value their arm and they have the idea that a tiger is about to rip it off, they feel terror. The intensity of their fear increases. If they have the idea that the value is gone and lost, they feel grief. It is the idea that the value is absent that produces the grief. If they have the idea that someone else is preventing them from getting the value that they seek, they get angry. And if they have the idea that the value is present, they feel joy. Now this is a dissertation on me. With him, it's all being done with music, spirit of play, laughter, fun. He has the Angry Dogs 4 who are singing about anger. He has the Shame, Blame, and Regret Quartet. Right? One's got two heads, so it's a quartet. Shame, blame, right? He has the high-tone gospel singers. And people are getting, through an entertainment, the idea of the thoughts that they create that produce the emotions that either prevent them from achieving their dreams or catapult them forward like a catalyst. And they move up a spiral into the higher toned emotions with the high toned gospel singers singing the glory of being, enthusiasm, the joy of heaven, portraying the majesty of having all of the things that you value actually being achieved, dramatizing the idea that the true purpose of our lives is to have the thrill, the ongoing thrill of having our fondest desires fulfilled, not only for our benefit, but for the benefit of all mankind. All done musically, beautifully, Disney quality. They then exit into a hands-on area of computer games and interactive software programming that enable them to play with the thoughts that create their own emotions, that either prevent them from going forward or catapult them forward. They can even connect into the Wonder World University of the Air, and at home do an emotions mastery program laced with a spirit of play and fun that entertains them into a mastery of their own emotions. And this is but one pavilion in Wonder World.
how many pavilions are there altogether?
There are 3 main pavilions in phase 1. There are 6 main pavilions in phase 2, and then there are a series of lands built around what is called Multiversity Lake. Multiversity is the concept of the infinite number of possible realities and universes that our mind creates.
To what degree have you designed these pavilions and these various zones?
All the conceptual designs are completed in quite a bit of detail. There are 27 feature films that support.
Those have treatments or scripts?
They have treatments, scripts, or outlines.
Okay.
Right.
Now, where are you now in the process? You've written a book, right?
I've written a book.
What's it called?
It's called An Invitation to Wonder World.
Can you show folks a copy of what that looks like here?
This is it. An Invitation to Wonder World.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's got a picture of me, cleaning up well.
When did this come out?
It's been out about a year. It's available through our internet site at wonderworldonline.com. Wonderworldonline.com.
Okay. And at some point we'll figure out with this new little flip cam how to post in the URL for people.
Okay.
And then you also, I believe, have some training CDs or something that you've done fairly recently.
Oh yeah, I've got all kinds of Johnny Rabb. I did seminars for years, and now I'm beginning to redo them all based on all of the new things that I have learned. But let me give you a quick summary of other things in Wonder World, because they really impact on what's going on, if I can do that.
Sure. Okay.
You got different lands. One of the lands is called the Galaxy Swings.
Yeah. Just a quick
Yes.
note here. We've done 45 minutes so far.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So give them real sort of quickly and let people go to your site. I mean, isn't the information, a lot of the information at the website?
Some of it. It's not all there. We're developing it. Okay, the Galaxy Swing. This is Mama's Galaxy Restaurant. Mm-hmm. At the entrance it says, fine food and good service, a tradition in 7 galaxies for over 1 million years. Right. The Galaxy Swings area is dedicated to fun, music, and a spirit of play. You will meet, for instance, the Dixieland Robot Ramblers. Right. The idea in this area is that we break down the barriers by marrying the familiar and the unfamiliar. So you have Dixieland and robots, the familiar and the unfamiliar. You have the Alien Quartet, 4 of the weirdest looking aliens you ever want to see, but they sing traditional 4-part barbershop harmony. You've got the Alien Country Singers of the Warp Drive Symphony Orchestra. Next to that, that's one land. And again, I've only touched on it.
Well, the thing is that we don't really have the time here to go into it, but for people who are interested, where can they go for more information, and how can they get involved if there's something that they maybe have to contribute to helping to move this forward?
The most contributing thing they can do to start with, and the simplest thing and the most inexpensive, is to buy and read the book and invite other people to do so also.
How much is the book?
The book is $39.95 because
Okay.
I had to self-publish it, and it costs about $28 a book at this particular point in time.
And then plus shipping and handling?
Plus shipping and handling, $2-3 more, right?
Yeah.
And if they buy it on the internet site, I make $12 or something. If they buy it through Amazon, I make 8 cents. So I would prefer
So folks can help you out by reading the
by
book.
reading the book.
and-
Anybody who wants to contribute, I mean, we're going to need every type of person there is. Obviously now we need connections to people that could potentially pull us off.
Right.
Billionaires who know other billionaires who can connect us in. My ideal scene is that it would be built as part of Disney World. An additional
Now you
theme
helped.
park.
Now you were involved in building the Epcot Center, right?
I was involved in ensuring that the Epcot project came in on time, on the date
What
that
was
the
your-
executives.
What was your role there?
I was hired to make sure it happened. What occurred was they had advertised when it was going to open. Disney did. The executives were scared to death that they would not open it on time because they were way behind schedule. I was hired to ensure that it did.
And did it?
It did. I went to the head of the scheduling department as an example to ask him where the project was. He was bent over his desk with a huge flow chart. I introduced myself. He didn't even look up. He stuck out his hand like this. I asked him where the project was at. He pointed to a poster up above his desk, never said a word. On the poster, which had been done by one of the artists over at the studio, in beautiful multicolored grand calligraphy, it said, Opening Ceremonies Epcot, and showed a tractor pulling a pyramid of water skiers across the dirt lake. That's where he predicted they would be at opening day. They were that far behind.